Questions of Doom.
Hello, welcome to a new section here on Archaeosoup. The Questions of Doom is an opportunity for me to answer questions which you send my way. Hopefully in doing so, not only will the asker, that is a word, I think, find the answers useful, but hopefully also so will the rest of you out there in YouTube land. Because obviously if one person's thinking a certain question, I'm sure other people are thinking the same thing. So, today, the very first question I've ever received comes from a gentleman called Ben. Doesn't want his surname mentioned, but hello, Ben. Now then, Ben, he says, Dear Archaeosoup, thank you very much for your videos. You're very welcome. However, I am confused. You never mention the Stone Age. Why is this? I have heard so much about the Stone Age on TV, but you never seem to talk about it. Could you please clarify this, as it is a little bit strange? Thank you, Ben. Okay, Ben. Well, you're right, I don't mention the Stone Age, and there's a very good reason for this. There was never a Stone Age. Yeah. There were actually lots of Stone Ages. The Stone Age is a catch-all term to a certain extent for many different sections of time in human history. More often than not, it is used by people who don't really necessarily understand the past or archaeology. But the Stone Age, or Stone Ages, can be broadly divided into three different periods. You have the Paleolithic, which is the Old Stone Age, that's what it means. The Mesolithic, which is the Middle Stone Age. And the Neolithic, which is the New or most recent Stone Age. In this way, each of these ages, each of these epochs of time, actually charts a broad shift in the use and the type of technology which is observed. And sometimes, actually, these are called revolutions. So you have the Neolithic revolution, the Mesolithic revolution to a certain extent, and that kind of thing, because it is charting a change which is observed in archaeology. Now, the Paleolithic actually covers a period of time from about 2 million years ago up until 12,000 years ago. So that's quite a big swathe of time. And it actually can be subdivided into the lower, middle, and upper Paleolithic. So 2 million years ago, you have a character or a creature called Homo habilis, which is a pre-human hominin, and he or she is the first to be making tools, apparently, by essentially just slamming rocks together in the in and around the gorge, which we now call Olduvai in East Africa. And then from that time onwards, tools get bit by bit more and more complicated, more and more elegant, and into the middle Paleolithic, we see tools made by the Neanderthals, for example, which are very large, chunky, very well made. In the Upper Paleolithic, broadly speaking, that is modern humans. That's physically, anatomically modern humans making tools which are very focused on certain types of prey, because often this prey is only coming past at certain times of the year when you have migrations, that kind of thing. It's also very, very well made. So those three periods in the Paleolithic chart three different types of technology, broadly speaking, through time. So that's up to 12,000 years ago. So from 2 million to 12,000. And if you bear in mind that human beings, have only been around for 200,000 years, we're talking about a huge piece of time before we were even here. The Mesolithic, or the Middle Stone Age, is a period of time from about 12,000 to around about 7,000 years ago, depending on where you are in the world. And this is when the Ice Age, the last great Ice Age, ends, and the world changes. And with it comes a new selection of food, stuff, and things that can be hunted. So people start making microliths, very small little tools. And actually I have something which is roughly the same size as a microlith, which is this here. Now, these tools are very, very versatile. They can be quickly configured, for example, onto an arrowhead, onto a harpoon, so that if you come across an animal and you want to hunt it, you can do very, very quickly and very effectively without having to go back to camp and get the right tool. So the Mesolithic is characterised by small little tools, and that's up till about 7,000 years ago. Around about this time there's another change that we see, and that is the Neolithic, or the New Stone Age, which sees a change in terms of how tools are being seen socially, this is. Because tools no longer really seem to be all that necessary for hunting, stone tools that is. They are still used as tools, but we're talking about the age of farming, which is starting to occur. So people now start to see stone tools as luxury items, highly polished, very, very pretty, almost like the iPod of their day. They are the thing that you go, hey, look, I've got a stone tool, and you can show off with it. So because you're not having to use it every day for hunting, you can afford to try and get a stone tool from many, many miles away, look after it, treasure it, and pass it on down your family line. So the variety of stone becomes important, the look of the stone, as opposed to its use as a tool. So those are the Stone Ages, and the dates are very, very fuzzy, and they go from, as I say, 2 million years ago to 12,000, that's the Paleolithic, 12,000 to about 7,000 Mesolithic, about 7,000 to around about 5,000 years ago, which is then when we see the Bronze Age. None of these dates are precise, so people didn't suddenly go, I am now in the Mesolithic. They are a slow but steady adaptation to the environmental changes, but also the social changes which people saw throughout those periods of time. So, put briefly, there never was a Stone Age. There were 3, or maybe even 6, or possibly even 10 of them, depending on which part of the world you're looking at. Hopefully this has been a useful answer to your question, and feel free to ask me for a bit more detail if you want. But hopefully in the future, when you see Stone Age in cartoons or on other television programs or on the internet, then you'll have a bit more of an idea about what it should be referring to, and that is, to be honest, actually, the vast amount of time that we've been on this planet. Almost 97% of our time on this planet has been one of those Stone Ages. So it's quite important. So thank you very much for your question, and thank you for watching.